Hi everyone, welcome back, and for the next video on how to use your Batwing tag dies. So the first video we just did some regular tags with some holes and some photo slots. Oh, some better ones, some photo slot ones. So I showed you how to use the Batwing tags, which came out a couple of years ago now. So these were a set of 6 dies. They come in 3 sizes. So it's large, comes with your tag and a matte and layer one. You've got your medium, your tag, matte and layer, and your small one. So these came out, as I said, a while ago, but they've just released the pocket tags. Pocket dies, sorry, not pocket tags, pocket dies. And again, we get our 3 sizes on how to use these. So these obviously work exceptionally well if you've already got or you're getting your Batwing tags, but you can also use them on their own as well. So the first video with these I'm going to do on their own. So I've done a video using the tags on their own. I'm going to show you how these can be used on their own. Now these are slightly different to the ones we had before for the Mexican ones and the Victorian ones as well, because all of the pockets were exactly the same size as your tag dies. But this time, they've gone slightly different. As you can see, we've got this big, massive, chunky die. Now this one will make pockets with a little gusset here, which means it'll be 3D with a bit of a space. And this then is also slightly bigger than your tag, which means this pocket will actually fit a load of these tags inside, so you can stack them on top of each other. And then this is the matte and layer, which will go on top, which you can cut with a decorative paper. But the great thing is the matte and layer is actually the same width as the tag itself. So coming up in the next video, I will show you how to use this to make pockets, even though we haven't got a matte and layer to go with this actual one, if we're using this as the main pocket. So don't worry, I do have a workaround and a little trick for that. So the middle one is just as I've shown you before with the Mexican ones. You can fit them straight onto your project, and then this one is a small one for the small tags, and it is the same size as the tag, so it can fit right onto the tag, but we do have that gusset, so you can make it 3D again. Okay, so everything I do with the large one, you can do with the small one as well, but I'm not going to show both because it's the same technique, but I will show you a little bit different because your large and medium are different. So this is going to be a 3-in-1 tutorial really. So I'm going to show you how to just do the regular one using this, which is the same as what I've shown you before, which you can do with your Mexican and Victorians. I'm going to show you how to make a 3D large one, but also you may notice this one isn't 3D, it's actually flat. So I'm going to show you how you can actually convert this 3D one into a flat one, because sometimes you just want a flat space to put into your album. And with it being 4.5 inches across, you can fit 6x4 photos in there, or 6x4 photos on a photo mat even, because it's so much wider. But the only thing you can't do, you can't, if it's flat, you can't fit your tag in because it's the same size. So there we go. So let's get going with a 3-in-1 tutorial. So we're going to start off. I've cut some bits ready to go, so you don't have to watch me cutting. So I'm going to start off with the medium one. Just grab some ink, and to do a flat pocket to fit into your album using these Batwing tags, what you need to do is cut out 2 of the larger piece out of your cardstock and 1 matting layer out of your paper. And what you then going to do is grab some tape. You could do, if you haven't got the tape, what you can do is just glue a U shape and stick it straight into your album. The only problem with that then is you obviously lose some width because the glue would cover some bits like that. And instead of your pocket being 3.5 inches across, you're obviously going to make it a bit smaller. So by doing this, you're actually going to make your tag more usable, or your pocket more usable. So let's find the end. And I'm going to cut a length just slightly longer than the width of my pocket tag. And no, this is the tidy side. I'm going to place it across, so it's halfway across the tape. So half it's on the card, half it is still exposed. So this is sticky now facing up with me. I'm going to do a couple of pieces down the edges as well. So again, we're going to have it half on and half off. Now with this being a decorative pattern, you may have some overlap here. That's all I do is peel it off and trim some off. And again, we're going to do a piece here as well. Try to get it off my scissors. So let's get it onto there. Again, I've got a little bit of an overlap. So I'm going to peel it back a little bit and just trim off that overlap. And now, this is the back. So you can see where the cardstock is and where our sticky side of the tape is. We're just going to cut. I think my scissors got a bit gunky. There we go. I'm going to just cut across like that. And again, just cut up to the corner of the cardstock and across. So we've got that now. We're going to take our second one and we're going to just line it up on the other one. And we're going to fold the tape over. So this is now attaching our two together like a little sandwich. And again, I do have overlap, so I'm going to trim it off, peel it off and trim. And again here, peel it back and just trim a bit off. So what I've got now is a little pocket. And it's the full width of my die cut. So you could do this with, as I said, any die shape you've got, as long as you've got 3 straight sides. And now we can just glue this on. Use my Teflon tool. And we have now a little pocket, a bit too much glue, but we've got a pocket which I can then stick into my album page. I've got my Seize the Day one here. You can see this is done with the Mexican one. Today we've just used the Batwing. I've done exactly the same method here, taped up those 3 sides, and I've just stuck it into the album, offering me a tuck spot there for my photos. So a great way to add something after you finished your project. If you've got a space, you're thinking what I can do, make one of these and stick it on. And of course you can decorate this up as well. Okay, so that is how to do the usual method that I've done plenty of times before. But as I said, these ones are slightly different because we have this gusset, and that is larger than our tags as well. So when we cut it out, we get this. So we get the 1/2 inch flaps on each side ready to go, but also this little I think is 1/8 of an inch gusset. So as I fold it, and I want to be careful, I'm just sort of just rolling it and teasing it. I don't want it to be folded really hard. So I'm just going to bend it gently, and we're sort of just rolling it back and forwards. And you can see then we've got a 1 inch depth to it. So again, I'm going to just gently fold and roll. There we go. And then you've got these 2 little glue tabs which you can just fold in. You can put a bit of glue on just to seal that corner up nicely as well. And you can obviously then just stick that into your album if you just put glue on there and there. But I like to prepare these ahead of time and allow a bit of extra support. So what I do is, ooh, a nice new roll of the tape. Can't beat this sticky paw tape. I think it's the only tape I use now. Use it for everything, even at work. Let's go. And we're gonna attach tape to those 3 flaps. Okay, so you can see now I've got that. So what I can do is I can just expose a bit of that tape. I can put some glue on there, I don't bother. I'm just going to fold that over now and stick it onto there. So I've exposed just a little bit of the tape to hold it there. I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm going to expose some of the tape. Expose some tape on the bottom piece, tuck that glue piece in and finish off that corner neatly. It just gives me time to do that. And there we go. And then what I do, I die cut a second one. And then I trim off the gusset, the 1/8 gusset and the tab. So let's have a look. Hopefully the camera's catching it up. I'm just cutting just inside all of those tabs. So I've only got that central main piece left. And now I'm going to glue that or tape that in place. And then the 2 side ones. Just line it up. Then I can just get my bone folder, my Teflon tool inside. So what I've created now is a back which also follows that shape. Of course, if I wanted to, if you don't like seeing those tabs, you can cut one of these out, put glue on it, and you can glue one of the matting layers on inside if you want. Or, in this case, I've just got the plain matting layer piece. For the outside, so I'm not doing the inside at all. So flip it over and press it down. There we go. And now I can just glue and double-sided tape on the back there and stick that into an album. But because we have that 1/8 of an inch, have a look at this, you can make all these tags. This one's not going to fit because of the ephemera I've used, but oh look, something's coming up. how to use a pocket die, you can put them inside. So that is how you would do your 3D pocket. So we've done, what have we done so far? A flat, medium, and your 3D pocket, your deep pocket. Now, if you were going to make the small one, you could, of course, do the same thing and cut out that middle piece and stick it onto that to make a pocket like this. But if you have the tags, what you can actually do is stick it straight onto the largest of the small one. Does that make sense? Because there's two small ones, your main tag and your matten layer. This actually fits straight on to your tag base as well. And then you can stick that on. So it depends if you want just that shape, the down bat, or if you want the up and the down, stick it onto that. But I know some of you thinking, oh, I don't want one of those because it might squash in my album because I put so much in. Don't panic. You can still make flat pockets using this. So let's have a look at what to do there. So what I've done, I've cut one of the main ones and I've cut one of the matten layers out of black. And I've also cut one of my matten layers from my patterned paper as well. But this time, you're not going to be able to fit your tags into this because we're going to actually cut this down to make use of this. Okay, so with our main piece, the large one, I'm actually going to tape this time over my 1/8 of an inch gusset. So for over the 1/8 gusset and into, wow. So let's see if I can bring this closer. So I'm placing the tape, so it's going over the 1/8. So I'm coming up to that second score line there, like so. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm actually going to cut, if I use the die, what I'm going to do, get rid of that tape from earlier, I'm going to cut through this score line where those two meet, so the inner one. Can I do it on the back? So to where the cross is and off. So we're coming up to the cross and up. So I say the tape is over that 1/2 inch score line there. So I know I can't fold it. So I'm going to fold on the 3 inner ones. And I want to burnish it nice and flat. So ignore the first score line, go to the second. And ignore the first one and come to the inner one, the second one. Here we go. Okay. So the first time I did this, I did the same as I did with that 3D pocket, and I cut my large one just inside there. What I found was it caused some bulging, which I didn't like. I don't know what mistake. I've put my tape on the wrong side. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fold it over. So put your tape on the back. Hopefully you've watched this video once before actually doing it with me. So put it on the back of your thing. Because what we're going to do, we're going to take this other black one, which is slightly smaller, and just place it inside. And then just sandwich it in. There we go. So now you've got a nice flat pocket. And even though I did it on the wrong side, it's not going to make too much of a difference because most of it's going to be covered with this. So don't panic if you've done the same as me. It is not the end of the world at all. So I'm going to glue this on. And there we go. That is our third pocket. So we've managed to do a medium-sized pocket. We've done our larger pocket nice and flat, and we've done our larger pocket with a gusset to place our tags in. So without even using the tag dies, I've already got myself 3 different ideas. More if I did the smaller one as well. So you can make 3D and you can make flat pockets just by using this this die set. As I said, 3 different sizes, 3 different results, because everything I did for the large one, I can do with the small one. I can cut them there and everything. So a nice versatile kit showing just the basics here. So now that I've shown you how to do the tag basic, I've shown you how to do the pocket basics, it's now time to start in the next videos putting them together and getting more out of these dies. So hopefully you found that useful, and you may even start seeing some of these ideas pop into your albums. If you do have a go at them, please do share with me in my Facebook group, Paper Crafting with Paul. I'll add a link in the description below. If you've used the CoolKatz dies, of course, share in their CoolKatz Crafts Facebook page. Again, I'll link below. And if you haven't got these dies but you'd like them, again, I'll link to the shop in the description below. So thank you for watching, and if you do want more ideas, hit that subscribe button because more videos are on the way. And also have a look at that CoolKatz Quickies playlist as well. Loads and loads of extra ideas in there. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all again very soon.